It's the week of Gamescom and Armored Core 6, so it's no wonder that indie developers have gotten out of the way, but there's opportunity for brave souls, so new releases begins with 6 Ages 2 Lights Going Out, a choose-your-own-adventure survival storybook set during the end of the world. This is the sequel to a well-received game from 2019 and more interestingly, King of Dragon Pass from 2015, all being games with great writing, and I expect this game to have it as well. It's been a while since I last covered an idle game where Kingdom Incremental might be of interest, having what appears to be a more in-depth city building aspect. The developer does talk about satire in the game's description, so I do think they will be poking fun at the concept, perhaps through their writing, but I love the pixel art look, so let's see if the incremental upgrade systems are up to par. If you're an indie developer and have no idea how to start with marketing your game, get on my mailing list via the link in the description below, where I'll send you some free templates and guides soon. An impressive looking top-down twin-stick shooter that is available right now is Kill the Crows, one that looks absolutely sick due to the pixel art, where you play as a gunslinger in a twisted western world. You're wielding various revolvers and using your special abilities to take out members of a cult, where slowing down time and tagging enemies before blasting them off looks awesome. Interestingly, there is one-hit kill in this game where everyone, from the player, enemies and even the boss, do die in one shot, so it's an intense experience that looks pretty fun. This next title is quite the curiosity since Gaia Trek is a card-based title which plays out across several different mechanics. You play as the shattered wheel of a planet, commanding a ship to explore new worlds, collect resources, upgrade your ship, summon monsters and consume other shattered wheels in order to restore yourself, where I was certainly not expecting that last line, all with a neat cartoony look. For example, you're playing cards to explore the area in a stack lands kind of way, and then there's a Plants vs Zombies style tower defense aspect where you fight off enemies, and then further buildings and upgrades to place on the board, looking pretty unique and interesting.
Fort Solis. This is Jack Leary, senior engineer, responding to your alarm. Please come in.
Jack?
Jess, Solis is locked down.
Be careful.
Lovely. Still no sign of anyone. Where could they be?
Just one bigger title this week with Fort Solis, a game that was announced about the same time as the Callisto Protocol, with both immediately drawing comparisons to Dead Space, but upon further inspection, this game isn't exactly like the other two. While it is set in a creepy research station on Mars, where the original crew has sent out an alarm call and our protagonist is sent to investigate, this appears to be more of a single-player narrative thriller rather than more of an action title where you're slaughtering necromorphs, but the developers talk about this being similar to a Netflix show told over 4 chapters, looking pretty intriguing.
How are you holding up? Well, what the hell is going on there?
Solis, it's...
Jack? What happened?
We need to go.
Jack!
Smaller games begin with DepowerBall, a competitive multiplayer party game where you and your team are fighting to feed the Dragon Queen, with the first to do it 3 times winning the game, where this game has a natural balancing mechanic in which whenever you successfully score a point, the opponent can remove one of your powers. I just want to give a quick mention to Thyria Step Into Dreams, a free prologue demo to an upcoming dungeon crawling turn-based RPG that looks kind of neat, combining overworld exploration with turn-based combat, where the zoom-in animations in combat certainly remind me of Darkest Dungeon, so for free, why not give this a try? On paper, Dust Fleet isn't exactly my kind of game since it's a space title, but the developers describe this as a 4X RTS, which is not a common combination at all. So while there's all the grand strategy level stuff like managing ships and controlling space stations to secure the sector, combat is in real time and looks kind of neat, so if you love your space sims, this might be worth a look. A pleasant surprise this week is the next title from developer Flipfly, who are best known for Raise the Sun from 2013, with their last game being Evergarden released in 2018, so it has been a little while since we've heard from them, where like Raise the Sun, Whisker Squadron Survivor has a behind-the-back camera and also has you piloting a spacecraft. They describe this as being on rails, which isn't exactly true in my opinion, but where you're constantly moving forward and blasting away at enemies, where the Survivor in the game's title might indicate some Vampire Survivors inspiration, where there's a full game planned for release next year as well. Hey, if you made it this far, subscribe to my weekly newsletter to keep on top of all things indie games, link in the description below. A game which I was not expecting to be as popular as it is X Invader. Yes, another Vampire Survivors clone, but they did release a free prologue demo which was well received, and managed to convert goodwill and momentum from there into the main game. There's a whole story about hacking into digital worlds, but you know the drill by now, where the bullet heaven action is where it's at.
Princess, the Zetopans will be in our system any minute.
But they're not here yet. Prepare defenses.
One of two upcoming titles from the developer of Armello is releasing this week in Jump Light Odyssey, a narrative colony sim in which you play as the commanding officer of a ship having to escape the clutches of an evil admiral and his conquering fleet. The 70s anime looking cutscenes are very impressive, but where the gameplay itself resembles more of a colony sim. There's plenty to build, upgrade and optimize on the ship as you try to stay on the run, where you can pick up survivors and then turn them into your crew members, having to manage interpersonal relationships as you attempt to run a tight ship. The developer does talk about a little bit of a roguelike structure in which you can fail but can try again, so it may be similar to the indie classic FTL Faster Than Light in that sense. Of course, the game of the week is Blasphemous 2, the sequel to a beloved grimdark Metroidvania that draws upon the Catholic faith, where hero, the Penitent One, is back in his endless struggle against the miracle. It's a direct continuation of the story from the first game, although no prior knowledge is required, and anyway, the story was so convoluted and told through lore texts and environmental clues and was pretty obscure, so don't worry about it and just focus on the action and pixel art, which, based on early previews, should be excellent as well. Interestingly, this adds additional weapons, Dark Souls style, in contrast to the single sword named Mea Culpa from the original, so it certainly is an expanded title where it takes some guts to release on the week of Gamescom, but the popularity and hype behind it gives it the authority to do so, where you can find more upcoming Metroidvanias in this video.